Today we are taking a look at Sung Jinwoo from Solo Leveling. This is the Xross Link figure by SEGA. Solo Leveling is a fantasy action series set in a world where mysterious gates connect reality to dangerous dungeons filled with monsters. The story follows hunters who enter those dungeons to fight for survival and centers on Sung Jinwoo, a hunter who begins at the very bottom before gaining the power to level up beyond normal limits. He starts as the weakest hunter, but gradually becomes a figure defined by overwhelming strength, calm control, and a presence that can change the atmosphere of a scene just by standing there. Today's highlights for this figure are the precisely sculpted dagger, the relaxed pose that still feels full of control, and the clear purple effect part rising around the feet. The dagger immediately stands out because of the black blade, the red outer edge, and the gold hilt. Instead of reading as a simple accessory, it becomes one of the strongest visual points in the whole figure. That contrast in color and the aggressive outline of the blade help it hold attention even in a relatively compact display. The pose is equally effective. One hand is raised to hold the dagger near the neck, while the other stays inside the pocket, and that combination makes the figure feel composed rather than exaggerated. It creates the impression that the character is fully in control without needing a wide action pose or a dramatic forward lean. The clear purple effect part then adds another layer to the display. It circles around the feet and rises in flame-like shapes, giving the lower half more motion without covering too much of the body. Because of that, the figure feels more atmospheric from a distance while still keeping the silhouette easy to read up close. This channel brings you figure reviews and anime merchandise updates straight from Japan. If you enjoy this kind of content, don't forget to subscribe. The face is built around a very restrained expression. The eyes are narrow and slightly lowered, and the blue-purple irises sit sharply inside that shape, which gives the gaze a cold and focused look. The mouth stays small and closed, so the expression never becomes dramatic. That balance is what makes the face feel calm, but not empty. The head is tilted slightly downward, and that angle works especially well with the eyes. Instead of looking directly forward in a straightforward way, the figure gives the impression of watching from a quieter and more controlled position. That choice adds a lot to the character presence even before the weapon or effect part comes into view. The hair is short, layered, and broken into thick front strands that fall low over the forehead. A heavy central fringe drops close to the eyes, while the surrounding strands separate into shorter pointed sections around the sides. This keeps the face partially framed rather than fully open, which helps the expression feel more guarded. At the top of the head, a small upward strand breaks the silhouette and keeps the hairstyle from looking too flat. Behind that, the rest of the hair is sculpted in layered sections that spread outward slightly at the back instead of staying tightly rounded. That gives the head shape more movement and stops the short hairstyle from feeling overly simple. The upper body is organized around a relaxed diagonal line. One arm bends upward so the hand brings the dagger close to the neck, while the other arm drops naturally with the hand placed in the pocket. That difference in arm position creates a controlled asymmetry, and it gives the figure a stronger sense of personality than a neutral standing pose would. The dagger plays a major role here. The gold hilt and pommel frame a darker grip, and the blade itself combines a black center with a vivid red outer edge. Along the sides, the blade has repeated jagged projections rather than a clean straight contour, so it feels more dangerous and visually aggressive. That shape makes the weapon feel substantial even though it is held close to the body. The outfit stays simple, which helps the weapon and expression stand out more clearly. A white inner shirt sits beneath a long blue outer layer that opens at the front and falls down past the waist. Because the front remains open, the white shirt creates a clean central area through the torso, while the darker outer layer forms the larger frame around it. The blue outer layer is also one of the most effective sculpted elements in the figure. It does not just hang straight down. Near the lower section, it flares outward and curves away from the body, which adds motion to the silhouette and keeps the torso from feeling static. That movement becomes even more noticeable from the side and rear angles, where the hemline spreads outward in a soft wave. The sleeves follow the bent and lowered arm positions with gentle fold lines around the elbows and wrists. Those folds are not overly busy, but they give the clothing enough structure to support the pose. Together with the open front and the lifted lower hem, the upper body keeps a strong sense of flow without needing extra costume details. The lower half uses a slim, straightforward silhouette that matches the upper body's controlled mood. The pants fall closely along the legs without becoming tight enough to feel exaggerated, so the line from the waist to the ankles stays clean and easy to follow. Because of that, the figure maintains a modern and understated look that fits Sung Jinwoo well. The stance is slightly open, with one leg placed farther forward and the other set back. That gives the pose a natural front-to-back depth and keeps the figure from reading as a flat, upright stand. It is a subtle choice, but it works well with the upper body's diagonal arm line and the lowered head angle. The hand in the pocket contributes a lot to the lower body's impression too. Since that arm disappears into the pants pocket instead of hanging freely, the waist and hip area feel more relaxed and self-assured. This is one of the reasons the figure gives off a sense of ease even while holding a weapon close to the neck. At the feet, the shoes are simple slip-on types with dark uppers and white soles. That clean design prevents the lowest part of the figure from becoming visually heavy. Instead, it leaves room for the purple effect part to become the main attraction around the base area. That effect part wraps around the feet in a wide circular flow and rises upward in multiple flame-like tips. Some sections stay low and broad near the surface, while others extend upward into sharper points, so the effect never feels like one repeated shape. The transparency of the purple plastic also helps it feel lighter and more active than a solid base would. Because of that, the lower half gains movement and presence without losing the clarity of the standing pose. This figure is approximately 17.5 centimeters tall. That's about 6.9 inches. For size comparison, here's a 350 milliliter can. That's about 12 ounces in the US. Overall, Sung Jinwoo stands out for the way this figure combines a calm facial expression, a controlled pose, and a dramatic effect part into one clean and stylish composition. The face is one of the most important strengths of the figure. The narrow eyes and small mouth create a restrained expression that feels cool and deliberate rather than blank. The slight downward tilt of the head strengthens that mood even more, giving the figure a quiet intensity that matches the character well. The upper body is where the pose becomes especially appealing. One hand lifts the dagger close to the neck while the other remains in the pocket, and that contrast makes the figure feel confident without forcing an extreme action stance. The long blue outer layer helps even more, because the open front keeps the torso readable while the lower hem flares outward to add movement. The dagger itself is another major highlight. Its gold hilt, dark grip, and black and red blade create a strong color contrast that immediately catches the eye. The jagged edge design gives it a sharper and more threatening profile, so it reads as more than just a small accessory. The lower half keeps everything grounded with a clean leg line, simple shoes, and a stance that has just enough depth to avoid looking flat. Then the purple clear effect part expands the display around the feet and introduces a much more dramatic shape into the composition. That combination of a restrained figure body and a more energetic surrounding effect works very well. Because of that, fans of Solo Leveling or Sung Jinwoo will definitely enjoy this piece. With that focus, collectors who appreciate calm character presence, strong weapon detail, and effect parts that add atmosphere without overwhelming the figure should find it a very satisfying release. That's it for this video. If there's any part of the figure you liked, feel free to leave a comment and share your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.